forward and back.
Hi, welcome to my channel. It's Forward and Back, and I'm here today to do a little review on the INMOTION E20, the new Learn to Ride EUC, I guess, that has just come out for INMOTION.
I'm 6, and to move forwards, you just need to look straight. How you go forwards is you look forwards, put down your feet pretty hard.
So I've had this wheel for a little while, me and my family, and we've had a few kilometres down on it now, and enough to put it through some of the paces and get our thoughts and ideas on whether we think it's a good thing for you or somebody else, you know, as a gift. You know, mostly this market is designed for somebody new, you know, younger kids, I think especially, but it's kind of proven to us that it's not just the young kids. There's anybody that could step onto this, you know, up to the weight rating of 100 kilograms. That's the maximum weight that a rider would be able to stand on this wheel. But it's, yeah, been more than capable in all the scenarios we've put it up for, and got all my family rolling straight away, which I'm really stoked for. And I guess that's what this wheel was designed for, and that's how I'm basically going to review it, whether it was successful or not. For us, it was, so come with us and I'll point out some of the things that I've found good, and, you know, a couple of the things that I thought might have been improved. But overall, yeah, pretty happy with this little run around EUC. It gets quite a lot of debate anyway. I've seen quite a lot of opinions on this, so hopefully you can have a look today and it might show you, you know, if it's worth considering. You've got 35 to 45 psi that you can pump in your tyre. The market for this, it's a dual wheel EUC. If you've never seen this or another electric unicycle, they're, you know, basically a unicycle, not a dually cycle or a bicycle. And yeah, I've had many people correct me and say this is not a unicycle, so it really gets people motivated to have a chat. I don't mind what it is, and yeah, I guess that maybe this is an evolving design. Maybe it's one that, you know, many people think shouldn't be a design, but for what it needed to do, it's done the job. You know, my wife and my family, to be honest, they're not really that keen at this stage. You know, they haven't caught the EUC bug like I did, and they're not really that keen to go and get something really crazy and roll on something that's, you know, really fast and with a massive wheel. So this was a really much more approachable wheel. I've got the other bigger wheels there, and they've just been intimidated, you know, when they've been looking at them, and they seem a bit heavier and just a little bit harder, and it is that initial learning curve, and it is a bit harder. It's, you know, it takes a bit of work. So this is something that takes no work. You can just sort of stand on it and get the idea, get the physics, you know, understand how you lean and how it goes when you do lean, and it gives you the taste. You know, if they had this in the store when I was shopping for my V11, this would have given me the flavour, you know, before I rolled out the door. I'll quickly cover the specs on the E20. It's got a max range of 30 kilometres. I've already done a range test with me, and that's just a video back. With a larger rider like me at around the 90 kilo mark, I was able to get 20 kilometres, and that was with 18% battery left. So, you know, that 30 kilometre mark, I think it's not too far off. You know, that's considering you won't be going too fast. The max speed on this wheel is 20 kilometres per hour. Now, I've managed to go a little bit faster than 20, and that's just pushing it up to the beeps. So the fastest recorded speed I hit was 31.5, but I have overpowered the wheel too. It's rated for 900 watts, and I think I hit 1250 on one of those rolls. So yeah, maximum speed of 20 kilometers per hour, but you might be able to go a little bit over. There is room for error with that, and it does allow a little bit more before it's going to, you know, cut out or give you any trouble. Seems to be a really safe wheel from what I've used so far. Got a few little features built in. I'll just show you the speakers there. Just play a couple of little files. I have to play my own music, I'm sorry, just for copyright. But here we go, this is the speaker, it's just a Bluetooth speaker. See the brake light comes on when you're going backwards.
Don't wanna ride.
Sounds okay, you know. Yeah, so the peak power is 900 watts. The dimensions are 440 by 253 by 507 millimeters. You've got a weight of 13.5 kilograms. IP rating is IPX5. That's on the vehicle and the battery. So you've got, you know, a bit of weatherproofing on all the important parts. It'll handle a couple of splashes from the kids if there's a water fight at the park or they get caught in the rain. 14-inch tyres, yeah, so two 14-inch tyres. I'm not sure of the brand. They're really, you know, street style, not a knobby tyre. You've got the party lights, which is RGB. They can be set to follow your speed or just to be running, you know, all the time, or you can set them to off as well. And you can change the colour spectrum just via the app. You've got a slider to select the colour that the kids want or that you want to match your gear. Pressing the button twice and that will disengage the motor, so you can then pick the wheel up without the wheels spinning. But it's also got an intelligent mode that'll detect if it does lift up and the wheels start spinning or it gets, you know, knocked over, then it will just cut the wheel out, so it's not going to, you know, catch fingers or hurt kids from the wheel spinning up out of control. It's a 54.6 volt charger. You've got 1.5 amps on that. You've got one charge port, so you can't run dual chargers. No USB charging on board. The lights, you've got the headlight, which is really bright actually. You just turn that on by once you've powered the wheel up. You can then just lean down and press the button once on the front and that will just engage the power light. So you don't need to worry about pressing that button, turning it off. It won't do that. And then you just press it again to turn the light back off again. And you know what, that's probably about it really, spec wise. Yeah, you know, as I said, I've pushed the peak power up a little bit. I haven't really customized things at all. I don't think you're going to need any jump pads or any, you know, power pads on this wheel at this stage. I did try to change the pedals. I tried to pop on the INMOTION V11 originals, which had the grip tape, and I also tried the INMOTION honeycomb pedals, but none of them would work. You know, you'd find that pin would sort of slide in and there was just a bit too much spacing and they'd be sliding backwards and forwards. But these pedals, you know, they've got a little bit of grip with that rubber texture, but it's really could do with a little bit more, I think. I've got to say that the safety features work really, really well. The way that it, you know, tilts back and beeps, and, you know, it hasn't felt unsafe. The kids have really pushed it over, you know, bashed it. We've had a lot of crashes, and that's the design. It's going to be used for people that are learning, so it should be able to take a tumble, and it's really strong, durable design. All the things clip together, all the parts are just plastic, and they have sort of come unclipped when we've had a crash, and you just clip them back together. The pedals have a rubber lining and they just have a screw that holds them in place. Yeah, everything seems really replaceable and protected. You know, the design of it just enables it to roll, no sharp edges to catch. And yeah, the plastics within INMOTION seem to hold up. I've put a few of their wheels through quite a few crashes. So yeah, for the design, I think that they've done pretty good. They've really considered the safety, the weatherproofing. You've got all the features for a party with your RGB lights, your Bluetooth speaker. Yeah, and you know, enough range, I think, for the kids. Most of my kids find that their legs are still getting sore at this stage. And my wife, you know, so after a few kilometres, they're kind of done for the day. And that's okay, because we just, you know, come back the next day and have a little chip again. And they're just getting better and better each time. You just get a little bit more comfortable and it just becomes a little bit easier. So those, you know, initial leg pains, they go away once you just keep at it, like practice like anything.
I'll make it loud.
guess I've been considering who this might be for, and I think, for those sort of people that haven't got the time, not much of a learning curve to this. It does balance itself, and as long as you can avoid turning sharply, you can just sort of stand on it and go forward. I think most of us in the past that have ridden an EUC, we just take a plunge. We don't really know. We, have to sort of buy one without knowing whether we can do it. But I've mentioned it in my other videos. This is for people that, don't have the skills you do. They might not be as coordinated. They might not be as big. They might be small. They might have a disability. They might have some impairment. And this is perfect. People can get on it and roll with them and have fun. I mentioned my wife didn't really have the bug yet. She roller skates, and that's fine. That's her way to get out, and that's her way to get out and roll. So, my EUC was my thing, but she wanted to join me on my thing, and this gave her that. It was so nice to be able to share this without the pain and the worry about her hurting herself. And this just made it like the higher scooters. You just get on it and go rolling and have a nice time and a nice day. And that was awesome. We covered a lot more distance in the city. We've gone to a lot more new places that we wouldn't have done, and this just makes it a little bit easier for us to do that, and a little bit more fun as well. So cool. What a great way to get around and see the city, or get your kids into something new, get them off their iPads and out of the house. And for me, I think this wheel is designed for those people. It's also designed for people that want to run a training school, for people that might want to go into schools and demonstrate these, and they've got half an hour for kids to all have a little turn. This is perfect. What a Christmas toy. I'd be stoked. It's still the future. You feel pretty cool. For me, the reason that this kind of wins is because I can still take a corner. I can still lean it up. I've got the option. I'm not so stuck flat that I feel like a truck. At first you do, and then you start to go, okay, and tilt it up on that edge and try to take that corner with a lean. And yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, it can be done anyway, more than I thought it would. But good safety features, durable design. You've got a lot packed in for the price. The things that I didn't really like is the trolley handle. I wish that I could pull that up. Maybe you can, and I'm just missing some secret feature. The pedals could have used a little more grip. I do sort of slide off them. Also, would have been nice to just angle adjust them. Some kind of suspension would also be really nice on a beginner EUC. And, I find just going over the bumps, it is a little bit jarring, and with the pedals, you do just sort of slip off a little bit. So, if you got some little pads on there, that might help keep the feet in place. But a pedal upgrade would be nice on this. And yeah, I think that's kind of the two things that came to mind. The pros for me is the size, the ability to just put anybody on it, take it anywhere, and at a barbecue, the whole family can have a go without too much worry. It just becomes a bit more of a toy that everybody can throw around to each other and all enjoy, versus you're at the party showing off your own skills and everyone thinks you're amazing, but they don't get to have a chance. So yeah, a bit more like a bike, I guess, in the fact that everybody can have a go, and that's cool. I like the price point. I like that it's small enough to pick up and carry, to put under the... If this was just something that you took with you on the bus and then, rolled around to work and sat it under your desk, that might be acceptable. Some wheels are just too big to do those sort of things. So I think I'm left just considering it's a bit of a gateway drug. It's really going to... If you start on this and you like it, which I think you will, because it doesn't feel as hard. It's not hard work. You just get on it and roll, and you can feel that joy, the air moving through your hair, and your hands are free. And my wife was sort of not too sure what to do with her hands, and that's kind of part of the thing with this wheel. That's what makes it different for people. You're just standing and floating through the world. So once you start to feel that floating through the world experience, you probably will want to upgrade. And that's what this is for. It's a design to get you on it, get you feeling it, get you to understand the mechanisms, and then come back and spend money, upgrade into that single wheel. I'm pretty sure once you start to get the muscle memory of this, you know, you will find a single wheel much easier. I'll follow the journey with my family and, you know, let you know anyway, and I'll keep following the journey with this wheel and let you know how it goes and holds up over several hundred kilometers. I'll make sure I put it through some water and I do the bearings, and, you know, my kids are going to be rolling on it a lot. So if you're interested or you're looking for your kids, keep an eye on the channel, subscribe. You know, there's a few other INMOTION wheels that I cover on my channel, and yeah, this shows you the journey. You can go from here, you know, up to your V11, V12, V13, V14, and whatever next they've got coming out. So thanks INMOTION again for, you know, not just thinking about that high-end, high torque suspension, high speed, all those massive wheels and the pro stuff. There's, you know, at least something in the market again, current, you know, updated and safe for the kids. So yeah, cool. I'm gonna say bye for now. I think I covered enough and a lot. I am a fan of this wheel. I really, really am, because it got my family rolling. I've had really good fun, and I wouldn't have done that without this wheel. There's no way my wife on the second roll managed to roll into the city on a busy bike path. We had a few moments where you had to grab the wheel and, you know, jump off, but that's okay. We all did that on our single wheels, and it's really intimidating going into the city. So I was super proud, and I was really, really, you know, had that moment of just, wow, it's cool to see someone you know and love, you know, sharing this thing that you know and love. So I'm stoked for that, and I think there's a few others that, you know, are considering one for their partner. It's a good idea. It just means you can share it and go and roll on a really beautiful day and enjoy things in a different way, I guess. So yeah, consider it if it's you know, I don't know. I think it's definitely gonna fit for some people's lifestyles and some people's needs. And yeah, for some it's just not going to fit. This shoe won't fit everybody. But I'm rolling back home, pushing those beeps again. And yeah, looking forward to getting onto one of my other wheels. But, you know, any wheel's a good wheel. So I had fun. I covered off a few things in this video. There's a few different days, and I've spent some time capturing footage. And so is my family. So flick us a like and hit that subscribe button if you really want to follow these videos. We make them regularly, and yeah, I'll try to keep some content up really soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again. Bye for now.